but we focus on the Sky Bet Championship here today. The two teams are out at the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff City wearing all blue, Huddersfield in their change strip, which is pink and white shirts, pink shorts and pink socks. A reminder of the two teams again. 3 changes for Cardiff. Ng, Cabba and O'Dowda drop out of the side, which won at Rotherham. The players who come in: Simpson, Sawyers and Ojo. It is Anik in goal, a back four: Romeo, Kipra, McGuinness and Simpson, Sawyers, Wintle and Rawls in midfield, Ojo and Philogene supporting Atete in attack. 2 changes for Huddersfield. Lee Nichols, the goalkeeper, comes in for his first appearance since New Year's Day. David Kasumu also drops to the bench to allow Jonathan Hogg, the captain, to come back into the starting lineup. It is Nichols in goal, Pearson, Lees, Hellick and Ruffles the back four, Hogg and Rudoni holding in midfield, Karoma, Diarra and Headley supporting Ward in attack. Our referee here today is Michael Salisbury, and it's Cardiff City who will get the game underway under grey skies and heavy rain here at the Cardiff City Stadium. There seems to be an east-west split in the weather this weekend. Sunshine in the east, rain in the west, and it's very damp here in the capital of Wales. And all eyes and all the onus now on Huddersfield Town to get the result they need here today to push themselves clear of the relegation zone and pile on the pressure on Reading heading into the final week of the season. Another big game on the home of the Sport 2, and it's Cardiff City who get the match underway, and it's worked back towards the goalkeeper Jack Anik, who clears long downfield up towards the halfway line, flicked on by Atete down the left. Joe Rawls will chase on his 350th Cardiff City appearance, back towards Wintle, and now Sawyers in midfield finding Ojo. Romeo pulls away to offer the width on this near side, the right, but now it's with McGuinness in towards Ojo again, flicked down the line by Romeo looking for Philogene, and it's cleared away by Hellick up towards the halfway line. Good support has made the journey from West Yorkshire to South Wales. The Huddersfield Town fans must be a couple of thousand grouped behind the goal away to our right-hand side as it's played forward by Hellick towards the halfway line, and Danny Ward, the former Cardiff striker, plays it wide towards this near side, and Headley, a low cross into the penalty area, and he's done well to deliver it. Ward with a shot towards the near post, and it's turned aside by Anik, and Huddersfield almost ahead in the second minute, but the flag was raised for offside.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the story of the game, really, absorbing an awful lot of pressure. Finally they get a little release pass out into Ward, holds it up, spins it down the line, brilliant pass into Headley, who looked like it might have been caught here, could have possibly been a foul, right, sort of a yard outside the box. Good cross in, set on the edge. You would say you expect the goalkeeper to save that near post. Maybe if he'd gone across goal, might have had a better chance of scoring, but they absorbed a lot of early pressure there, Huddersfield, and then countered really quickly.
A win for Huddersfield, and they would be 3 points clear of Reading with a game in hand at home to Sheffield United on Thursday. That would put them in a very strong position at the bottom of the table. It's been such a troubled season for both of these clubs, really, both on their third manager of the campaign, and clubs with a high rotation in the technical area never usually prosper at this level. As Philogene, his body checked on the halfway line, is he not, according to the referee, and it's back with Jack Anik.
Definite foul. I mean, he did brilliant there, Philogene. He got on the half turn and put it through the legs of the centre half, and that was a certain foul there. He was lucky to get away with that. Lovely little nutmegs that look like on Tom Lee's.
Jack Anik, one of a number of goalkeepers used this season for Cardiff City, already making a fine save as Nichols clears downfield for Huddersfield up towards the halfway line. And now Wintle going all the way back towards his goalkeeper, who hammers the ball high, and Anik has only returned recently after Ryan Alsop was injured in the draw here against Stoke City, but it's 7 points in 9 for Cardiff after only 7 in their previous 8 games as Huddersfield come forward now. A low ball in towards the near post looking for Ward, and it's scrambled away by Kipra, who scored the winning goal the other night, and then Brahima Diarra gets it all wrong on the far side, just knocks it straight out of play, and it will be a goal kick.
Well, I think certainly the positive for Huddersfield Town is the threat they possess out wide on the flanks. It's Koroma this time raiding down the right-hand side, and they've been effective. Great run, breaks into the box, gets his cross, just cut out of the near, and they couldn't quite keep it alive, Huddersfield. But, you know, look, haven't had a lot of the ball, but when they've had it, they've certainly broke into the final third and looked a real threat.
Neil Warnock standing on the edge of the Huddersfield Town technical area with his faithful lieutenant Ronnie Jepson just behind him. He was at Cardiff between 2016 and 2019, guided them to survival, an unexpected promotion to the Premier League which ended in relegation, and he then left the following November, and of course he retired last April after a spell in charge of Middlesbrough, but was bitten by the bug once again in the middle of February, going back to one of his former clubs. He was promoted with Huddersfield from the third tier back in 1995, their first season in their current stadium, and he was in charge of Cardiff for 144 games. The next 5 managers ongoing have been in charge of 180 games between them, so that's astonishing longevity considering the usual lifespan of a Cardiff City manager under Vincent Tan. And only he and Malky Mackay have been in charge of more than 100 games across the last 10 Cardiff managers in the last decade. Atete with a lovely back heel to release Romeo just in front of us down this near side, the Cardiff City right. Nearly 5 minutes played here on Talksport 2. 0-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Atete looks to link up with Romeo once again, but it's scrambled away by Halleck, and Cardiff will have a throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, maybe Romeo could have delivered. He was close to the corner flag, could have tried to get his cross in. Maybe if it was a different scenario, if they really needed to win, might have just put that ball in the box instead. Certainly a relaxed air about how Cardiff are playing.
Philogene is closed down on this near side again, and Cardiff will have another throw-in, and it's in towards Atete at the near post, looking to hold off the challenge, and then Philogene is offside as he hooks the ball into the penalty area, and it will be a free kick for Huddersfield. Also on their third manager of the season, of course, began with Danny Schofield after Carlos Corberán departed only a few weeks before the campaign, and then Mark Fotheringham came in very early on with only 5 wins in 21 games for him, and then Neil Warnock was given yet another rescue job in the Championship.
Well, Ronnie Jepson just came out to his front players, for Cardiff, and saying, cool, make sure you stay onside, that's one offside, that's one too many. I agree with that. That was a cheap one from Philogene's got to look along the line there.
Ronnie Jepson was in the Huddersfield team which was promoted under Neil Warnock back in 1995. He's had 8 promotions during his career, but it's all about survival in his current job. 72 years of age, but clearly still has the hunger. And you can imagine him, rather like Roy Hodgson, David, in the future, maybe not managing a full season, in towards the end, finishing a job off, taking the survival bonus, and then moving on again.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a bad retirement plan.
No. I mean, the last time I saw Neil close up, he was in my local chip shop in Lycra. Just been on a bike ride, and it's a sight to behold, I have to say, but nonetheless...
Yeah, you didn't buy the Savoy, did you?
No.
7 minutes played. 0-0 here at the Cardiff City Stadium. A draw for Huddersfield would not be the worst result. It would put them a point clear of Reading, and they still have those 2 home games to come, including Reading at home on the final day, as Ojo has been cleaned out by Pearson in the centre circle, and Cardiff will get a free kick this time.
Well, I don't know what Matty Pearson's complaining about, because, he's entitled to go for it, because Ojo sort of knew the ball was coming to him, but because of the weather, it's a bit wet. Certainly the pass just held up to him a little bit, and it just invited Pearson to get after it, because Ojo just took his after ball, scanning around for where the pressure was coming from. Matty then steamed into the tackle, and, it could have been a yellow card, that, to be honest.
Matty Pearson's had a really good goal-scoring record for a defender. 5 in 15 this season. He's had a long time on the injured list, but he's back at a crucial time as Hogg plays it wide to the far side, and Tom Lees, with a wealth of experience with 3 Yorkshire clubs at this level, also with Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday. Now Kipra plays it back towards Anik, who clears long downfield again. McGuinness will allow the ball to bounce, and he's come back into the Cardiff side, having been on loan at Sheffield Wednesday in League One in the first half of the season. Philogene, one of a number of players in the Championship, on loan from Aston Villa at the moment, but it's significant that Neil Warnock doesn't have a single loan player in the Huddersfield team. He's gone for players who are attached to the club and maybe just have that togetherness which could help them in the closing weeks of the season.
Well, just looking at how they're defending, I mean, Matty Pearson has followed Shea Ojo all the way across the pitch. They're kind of going man for man here, Huddersfield. Whenever any of the forwards go short or go from one flank centrally, they follow them in. They do not pass them on. Follow me and go man for man all over the pitch. So, you know, that's your man, bit of responsibility. Maybe that's the way Neil Warnock's gone.
9 minutes played. Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0 here on Talksport 2. And you're listening to EFL Live with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Now Pearson, wide on the far side. A good ball infield towards the teenager Diarra, who looks to shrug off a challenge and find Hogg, and Hogg has now picked out Ruffles down the left. An early cross into the penalty area, headed away only as far as Headley, but it's hooked further clear on the edge of the penalty area by Sawyers. Now Hogg lifts it wide to the far side, but Cardiff will clear again, and then Atete, was he caught? Not according to the referee. It did seem that Hogg left something on him there. Still down, but play continues.
Well, that's the second time now I think Cardiff could have had a free kick. Hasn't quite gone their way.
Ruffles for Huddersfield on this near side, back towards Hellick, who was almost promoted from this level with Barnsley a couple of years ago. Now Lees, a walking pace over the halfway line, and there's almost a testimonial feel among the Cardiff supporters. This had the look of a very tense game, maybe only a few days ago, but that tension was released for the home supporters by the victory at Rotherham on Thursday. Cedric Kipra with the late winning goal, and he scored in both of those away wins at Rotherham and Watford, which have really turned Cardiff's season around. They won successive away games after only 8 points and 8 goals in their previous 10 games on the road. But they've only won 2 games in their previous 14 here. And Neil Warnock is just micromanaging with Josh Ruffles as they prepare for a throw-in on this near side, but play has been halted because Atete has gone down after that earlier challenge on him.
Well, he's also just, it seems to be indicating actually the back of his hamstring, so I mean, that doesn't seem like a contact injury, but and that is one that is difficult to run off. So
Sori Cabot is already warming up, and he gets a great ovation from the Canton stand away to our left-hand side. I think he's already coming on. I think Atete may be done here. Yeah,
the physio just indicated, gave the old signal. The hand, fingers running around in a circle like a hamster wheel. Time to come off.
Well, Sori Cabot has without any question been the man who has turned things around for Cardiff. 8 goals in 15 games, including 6 in his last 8, on loan from Midtjylland in Denmark. Plays his international football for Guinea, and you would presume he would head back to Scandinavia at the end of the season, and he would leave a huge hole in the Cardiff squad, even though he was a short-term signing. Well, he's getting ready to come on, and Atete, who has only recently discovered the goal-scoring touch, scored in both of those away victories after only 1 goal in the entirety of the season before then, and he'll be disappointed that he's coming off with only 13 minutes played.
He will, but I guess with Cabot coming on, I mean, he is their main man, to be honest. He would have even more goals if he could actually finish from the penalty spot.
Yes.
So you can hear the reception he just got there. He missed 2 in 2 games, didn't he? Unbelievably from the spot, so...
Including that game here against Stoke. Had they won that game, then they would have been even further clear before they got the job done. Well, they got the job done at Rotherham, but the late equaliser for Reading yesterday secured their safety. Blackpool and Wigan already down, and it will be one of Reading, Huddersfield or Rotherham to join them in League One next season. But Rotherham, as we know, still have 2 games to play. At home to Middlesbrough, live on Talksport 2 tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then they play Wigan away from home on the final day. But it's all about Huddersfield here today, and they win a corner, the first of the game. A cross in from the far side from Corona is deflected behind, and an opportunity now for Jack Rodoni to try and flight one in.
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of the goalkeeper just, playing for territory into the corner. What Cardiff have done here, though, they've kept 2 up, so it just drags 3 Huddersfield players back. I mean, unless they're brave and go for it and go 2-on-2, but it looks like Huddersfield are going to keep 3 back.
A real bus queue of Huddersfield players on the edge of the penalty area. They split now, the corner into the near post, headed away by Kipra, nodded back in towards the edge of the box by Koroma. Now Rodoni again, wide on the far side, looking to wriggle away from Sawyers, claims he was fouled, but in the end there's a couple of ricochets and the final touch was off Rodoni, and he goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was unlucky, just lost his footing in the at a vital moment right by the sideline.
15 minutes played on Talksport 2, Cardiff City 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Huddersfield won the corresponding game in September by 1-0. The first game after Danny Schofield was sacked when Paul Harsley was in caretaker charge. And Kiefer Moore was the match winner late on for Cardiff here last season, and they've won 8 of their previous 9 games here in Cardiff against Huddersfield. Huddersfield's last victory was across the road at the old Ninian Park back in September of 2001, when Danny Schofield, who was the manager this season, scored the winning goal. And they're looking for their first league double against Cardiff since 1970 here today. Cardiff making the early change. Keon Atete going off due to injury, replaced by Sori Kaba. Now Ruffles with a throw it in towards the near post. Ward lays it back towards Hogg, and now Ruffles again, another good crossing from the left hand side. Kipra with the header clear, play back towards Rodoni on the edge of the area, tries to turn with a high bouncing ball and volley, but his foot was raised and a free kick has been given to Cardiff City.
Yeah, it was unlucky, as you say. Really good ball in from Josh Ruffles. I know him a little bit from my time at Oxford. Done really, really well there, and he's got a lovely left foot on him. Sort of dropped back, it was midfield, he's dropped back, hasn't he? Later on in his career now, sort of operating as a left back.
Huddersfield do have a number of players signed from the lower divisions. Of course, Ruffles from Oxford, Rodoni from AFC Wimbledon. As Hogg has now been caught midway inside the Cardiff half, and Huddersfield will have a free kick.
It's a heavy challenge here from Shea Ojo. I mean, the ball is gone, but nonetheless he caught Hogg quite high, just holding his upper shin. Certainly Neil Warnock's not happy. As it is, look, it's in a good area, about 15 yards over the halfway line, just left of centre. It's a chance to get the centre halves up in the box as well here. Although they could do with the ball though, the crowd are keeping the ball, so they could do with the ball back.
The Huddersfield player has gone across, and of course inevitably, classic Bants, the ball is thrown back once the Huddersfield player turns away and another ball is found. As a very fine drizzle just starts to drift towards us here in the press box at the Cardiff City Stadium. Grey skies overhead, no sign of sunshine here today. Rodoni over the free kick. A high ball in towards the far post, and it's headed away by Simpson. Rawls will avoid the corner kick, closed down by Pearson, but he's managed to squeeze the ball away. Headed back though by Ruffles, but Cardiff quickly win it back. Philogene looks to release Cabba, but now an opportunity for Diarra to find Hellick inside the penalty area. A low cross into the 6-yard area, and it's hammered away by McGuinness for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, but again, they're pretty direct, Huddersfield, as we know, but they have an outcome. You know, nice ball across the box from Hellick, and you know, they've been a handful. Make no mistake, Huddersfield so far.
Thrown in towards Rodoni again, who breaks into the penalty area beyond Simpson towards the byline, then has to check back to control the ball. As a result, Cardiff have players around him. Eventually the cross is squeezed in and Rawls will clear up to the halfway line. Cabba will try and get there before Lees, and does so. Wide on the left-hand side. Ojo makes the break down the centre. Cabba looking to maintain possession, loses his footing, and then Hogg wins it back for Huddersfield. They will try and break over the halfway line now. An opportunity. The shot fired low by Karoma, and then the shot on the turn from Ward is blocked by Kipra on the ground. It spins out towards Ruffles on this near side, in towards Diarra. And now Karoma again, left-hand side of the penalty area. He's got support from Headley. A low cross in from him is blocked, but Huddersfield keep the pressure going here with Karoma. Back towards Ruffles, high to the far post. Kipra rising to clear again, and Philogene in the left full-back position eventually finds Rawls, and it's high up towards the halfway line, but Lee steps in before Cabba. Pressure here from Huddersfield with 19 minutes played, 0-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Hogg wide towards the far side, and Rodoni again looking to deliver a cross into the penalty area, but once again the final touch was off the Huddersfield man, and it will be a goal kick.
Oh, they're unlucky, because you know they could have maybe put the ball in a couple of times. Huddersfield, they had a 3-on-2 out wide. Hey Ojo, just too slow to realise I've got to get out here and help my two teammates out. We're outnumbered. Eventually the ball does come in, it's cleared on the opposite side. Rodoni's had no luck whatsoever so far. That's twice now he's got to the byline trying to win a corner, trying to play it off a Cardiff player, and it's come back and hit him and actually gone out for a goal kick. 20
minutes played, Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0 on Talksport 2. The Sunday session with Sam Matterface underway at 1 on Talksport, live from Old Trafford, with all the goals as they go in from the Premier League, the Scottish Cup semi-final and the WSL. And we'll hear from both Eric Ten Hag and Unai Emery looking ahead to Manchester United against Aston Villa at half-time here at the Cardiff City Stadium on Talksport 2. Rotherham against Middlesbrough, live tomorrow at 1 o'clock from the Championship. 5:45 also on Talksport 2. Arsenal against Wolfsburg, the UEFA Women's Champions League semi-final second leg. Leicester against Everton will be 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Dean Smith will also be coming up during half-time as well. And we have live Premier League commentaries from the Emirates, the Etihad, Anfield and the Amex coming up Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday night across the Talksport network.
Oh, that was unlucky. That was unlucky. Really good ball in behind from Tom Lees, just trying to pick out Josh Cromer. He just went marginally early. There's another player though now down for Huddersfield. Looks like Danny Ward.
Danny Ward, yeah.
Oof. Must have been off the ball maybe. Could be another muscle injury.
Well, Jordan Rhodes is on the bench today for Huddersfield. He could be a potential replacement. Danny Ward scored 14 last season, but only one since October during the current campaign. He was promoted here under Neil Warnock back in 2018. And again, he looks to be in trouble. And they're just trying to manipulate his right knee at the moment. The Huddersfield medical team, midway inside the Cardiff City half. And you can sense the tension from both the Huddersfield fans and their players, can't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, he just goes to close down the goalkeeper, and maybe on the follow-through, maybe Alnwick might have caught him. Ward on the knee, it looks like it, which, you know, that might be okay. You might be alright from that contact injury, just to roll your sleeves up and get on with it. We'll have to wait and see. He is walking off though.
It was an impact injury rather than a strain or a pull for Danny Ward, it seems. And he looks to be okay to carry on. Just talking to Tim Robinson, the fourth official. Sol Bamba infuriated by something inside the Cardiff technical area.
Well, I tell you what he's infuriated with, because, you know, his goalkeeper shaped to kick it down the line, and obviously Huddersfield dropped off, you know, completely dropped off. That meant the whole back four could have had the ball, back three could have had the ball. Instead they went long, so that's what he's saying, you know, give it to your centre halves and go and play.
Sol Bamba was Neil Warnock's captain here during the promotion season 5 years ago. Wintle now for Cardiff. It is so tight at the bottom that if Cardiff take the lead here, Huddersfield will drop into the relegation zone on goals scored. Level goal difference with Reading, but Reading have scored more goals. Now Wintle back to the halfway line and Kipra once again. 23.5 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0. And we saw the early save made by Jack Annick for Cardiff when Danny Ward was offside, but very little since as Philogene lets fly now for Cardiff, and he skies it high over the top.
Yeah, disappointing finish. I mean, Karoma follows the run in behind. It's Rules that makes a run trying to get in behind that Huddersfield back line, and Karoma follows him in. Bad header though, across the box. Bounces in front of Philogene, takes one touch to set himself, but he gets really under the ball and slices it high over the bar. I mean, Danny Ward is back on, so he looks alright.
And Lee Nichols will take the goal kick. Do you think it was a gamble to bring him back today after no football since New Year's Day?
I guess he played in the B team and he must have proved his fitness, and yeah, if you're fit, first choice, you play.
And Thomas Vaklic, the veteran Czech international, was the goalkeeper in the short term, but only 2 clean sheets in 13 games for him. As Huddersfield have a throw-in on the far side. 0-0 with 25 minutes played, and it's been maybe the sort of game we anticipated. Very few chances, and the urgency of the situation with Huddersfield, but that also creates its own anxieties as well. I saw West Brom against Norwich at the other end of the Championship last night, and it was a similar sort of game until 2 goals just before half-time, in that both teams were almost waiting to see what happened rather than doing it themselves.
Yeah, but also both these teams are at the bottom of the table for a reason, you know, so it's not going to be you know, a classic here today. It's about, you know, whether Huddersfield can come out on top when the pressure's on. It doesn't matter how they get the win, does it?
No, absolutely. If it's off somebody's backside in the 90th minute, that's all they need.
And it's risk-free, you know, often playing out from the back or whatever. You saw Sol Bamba saying to Cardiff, you know, they could have done that there. Well, I tell you what, if the points were needed, maybe they wouldn't. You know, whereas Huddersfield, no risk football, goal kicks, everyone squeezes up the pitch. Nichols hit it into the corner. We play off flick-ons and we play from there. You know, you're just trying to minimise the risk of losing possession in dangerous areas and just playing territory, really.
And one spoke to a defender who worked under Neil Warnock, and he even said to him, when you clear the ball away, don't just clear it, smash it. So it's in the back of the stand and we've got time to reset. It's all those marginal gains he's looking for. Well,
yeah. I mean, as they're just playing the ball back to their goalkeeper here, you know, we touched on it in the pre-build-up, you know, against Blackburn, 19% of the ball, Watford 25 or something. You know, they got 4 points from those 2 games, and, you know, if they get that, they'll stay up.
And we welcome listeners from Talksport to the Cardiff City Stadium. In the drizzle here, it is Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0, with 26 minutes played. Neither goalkeeper has saved so far. It's been a game punctuated by injury stoppages. Keon Atete taken off injured after 10 minutes for Cardiff to be replaced by Sori Kaba. Danny Ward, the Huddersfield striker, has also been down. And really, David Connolly, it's been a pretty poor game, but it's 2 teams towards the bottom, and of course Huddersfield need the points. Yeah, that's right. A lot at stake certainly for Huddersfield, and you know, they're playing direct as you'd expect them to do, playing for territory, corners, flick-ons. You know, they have had the 1 shot on target so far. That's been about it, but yeah, not a lot in between the boxes at the minute. Here is Philogene now for Cardiff. A low cross into the penalty area. It falls to Rawls at the far post, unable to get the ball under control, but it's back towards Sawyers, and now wide to Romeo on this near side, the right. Philogene will take over again and look to attack the penalty area and deliver the cross in, but it's back towards Sawyers. He strikes it, but it's too high and it's over the top. Commentary continuing on Talksport 2. 27 minutes played. It is Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0. It's a dreadful strike.
Really disappointing from Sawyers, because to be honest, Philogene does really well, works his way into the box, they just back off, and eventually Sawyers is there, he's open, right hand side of the area, yard outside, he's asking for the ball. Philogene set him perfectly to come onto it first time, he's got right under it and skied it over the bar. Really disappointing, got to wrap your foot around that, try and aim for that far corner, certainly at least hit the target, a couple of players in the box as well.
Lee Nichols will clear downfield, defending the goal away to our right-hand side in the first half. Ruffles with a high ball over the top, straight out of play. And it will be a throw-in for Cardiff. And it's a risk for Huddersfield to maybe think that a point is enough here today, because they've no idea what sort of team or what sort of mindset they'll get from Sheffield United on Thursday. If Sheffield United fancy it, they could be in trouble.
Yep.
And Paul Heckingbottom was talking to our colleague Alan Biggs following the game yesterday and saying that, you know, money is tight at Sheffield United and he'd like to keep all the loan players, and he may still need 5 or 6 players for next season. If the loan players don't stay, he may need up to a dozen, and at the moment there is not the finance at the club to do that. So interesting times at Bramwell Lane, even though promotion has been secured. Neil Warnock, of course, was manager there for so long, took them into the Premier League previously. Ojo, just caught here by Pearson, who can't believe it.
I can't believe he's not been put. That's the second time now. I mean, in all fairness, what he does, Pearson, obviously Neil Warnock has told him, no matter where, you know, the wide men go, so Ojo comes in off the left wing, runs halfway across the pitch to receive into a pocket, and, well, if you don't go with him, who are you going to pass him on to? So Neil Warnock's obviously said, we go with them everywhere, all across the pitch. That's exactly what Matty Pearson has done again. And again, he's fouled him, though, so I mean, he could have been booked twice, and certainly I think totting up process, maybe 2, you go, right, here's your first yellow. He's got away with it.
Sabalimucci claps his hands on the edge of the penalty area, still in the overcoat at the end of April, but you can't really blame him. He replaced Mark Hudson, who lasted 17 games here after Steve Morrison was sacked in September, and remarkably, Cardiff have never been in the bottom 3 this season. Points deductions from other sides may have helped them out at times. They did get as low as 21st.
Another bad kick though from Nichols. I mean, they all crowd onto the right-hand side of the box, and for the second time now, he's kicked to the opposite side, unintentionally, because they haven't got any players at Huddersfield. I mean, they're lucky they got away with that one, but his kicking's just a little bit off at the minute, Nichols.
But Huddersfield are here against a team who have been really poor at home this season. 6 wins, 7 draws and 9 defeats, with only 19 goals scored in 22 home games. It's been a very difficult watch for Cardiff fans at times. They failed to score home and away in 18 games this season, and they've only scored more than once on 9 occasions, and 2 of those games were the 2 away victories very recently against Watford and Rotherham, and 41 goals overall. So they've survived this time, David, but there's no money, we understand, around the club, and it could be a very difficult summer.
Yeah,
and you wonder what the future is for Cardiff.
Well, to be honest, that is going to be the case for a lot of the Championship clubs, and as you know very well, you know, I think they're in dire financial need, a lot of the Championship clubs.
There's no money, but everybody is chasing the dream.
Yep.
Ojo, good ball forward towards the far side, but an excellent recovery challenge made by Pearson. But Huddersfield have given the ball away, and there's very little quality from either side here so far. But now it's wide from Diarra towards Karoma. And he checks back, looks in field, stops dead, and in the end goes back towards Pearson on the halfway line. And of course Huddersfield were in the Premier League as recently as 2019, but the parachute payments have all gone, and there is an American takeover imminent. So at the moment Huddersfield just need to get through this season. There will be a new manager, Neil Warnock will leave, of course, new ownership, and maybe a new start as Romeo does well to rise above Rodoni and guide a header back towards Anik.
I mean, they've kept the ball for a little bit there, Huddersfield, and just waiting patiently, but you just know that the final pass, when it's going to come, is going to be a longer one. And then it's whether it's with quality into the channel. They started well, like that, hitting two-channel balls, you know, getting their wide men down the line and getting crossed in the box. It's just dissipated a little bit. I mean, Caroma hasn't got on the ball enough either. He's looked really sharp for Huddersfield when he's had it.
Romeo brings the ball down on this near side, checks back towards the edge of the penalty area and finds McGuinness. McGuinness down the line for Philogene once again, and he under a wafer-thin challenge from Hellick. Rightly no free kick, and it's a goal kick for Huddersfield.
Yeah, just not ready to take the contact. You know, you've got to be there ready, knowing the big centre-half is going to come, and he doesn't. Philogene, he just gets brushed over. And here we go, let's see if Nichols can get this kick a little bit better. So he always moves it over to the right-hand side of the 6-yard box, always looking for Danny Ward. And basically all 20 outfield players are in about a 20 by 20 square, just in and around or just over the halfway line. Most of them. You've got to try and get it into that area, Nichols. That's a bit better.
He does so this time. Neil Warnock is already talking to a couple of replacements. One of them is Jordan Rhodes, so maybe there could be changes at half-time. Karoma's ball into the penalty area, and it's sliced behind by Kipra at the near post, and it will be a corner kick here for Huddersfield with 34 minutes played on Talksport 2, 0-0.
Well, this is why they've got a corner kick. Nigel starts there with their goalkeeper in their 6-yard box, and they're within one flicked header from Danny Ward. That's why the importance of having a good goal kick if you're going to play this way is accuracy. Got it up to Danny Ward, really good flick on. There's Caroma galloping in behind, gets to the byline, cross is cut out, but they got a corner.
And Rodoni will take it on the far side. And once again, Huddersfield have packed the penalty area with their big men. Cardiff have pulled everybody back apart from Philogene. Rodoni in towards the near post, and it's flicked over the top, and it will be a goal kick in the end. Huddersfield are appealing for a corner, and I think it was Matty Pearson who won the header at the near post.
Yeah, he got up well, to be honest. There was a trio of Huddersfield players all taking a little run and jump at it. He got up high early. It looked like it might have come off a Cardiff player last, though. It probably could have been a corner. And I think they've obviously looked at the replay, the Huddersfield Town staff, because now Neil Warnock and Ronnie Jepson are screaming at the fourth official and the referee, saying, look, we should have had a corner there.
And once again, a long ball forward for Cardiff, doesn't find the intended target, Marlon Romeo, and Huddersfield will play it high up towards the halfway line. And now Hogg lifts it wide towards Diarra, but Cardiff will get the ball clear, and at the moment this is not the festival of relaxed football which maybe the Cardiff City fans were hoping for.
And it's going to be the little margins that might make the difference. For example, if it's a corner, you want it, you know, and they got that call wrong there, the officials.
But now Huddersfield with an opportunity now, and it's Rodoni with a shot deflected over the top, though. It will be a corner kick, and Cardiff City were almost opened up there. Rodoni found the space to shoot, but it was Simpson who came across to block, and it was probably a goal-saving challenge.
Yeah, this was a nice little move into the front, little flick round the corner, into Rodoni on his left peg. Terrific sort of sliding challenge there from, I think it was Simpson in the end, or maybe Romain Sawyers. It was actually Sawyers there that got the block on. Over the bar.
Another corner kick here for Huddersfield, who have offered more of an attacking threat so far, as they really need to. A corner kick down their left, and it's Caroma who will take it in towards the near post, but Cardiff City this time will scramble the ball away. It's infield towards Cabba, back towards Ojo, and he's got support from Rawls ahead of him, and support on the far side, but the flag will be raised here because Philogene was offside. He looked along the line and he was still offside.
Well, I mean, we could see that from here. He's right on the last man. He's behind the last man. He's got the lines actually, you know, the groundsman's kindly, you know, cut the lines onto the pitch for him. He's always standing in one shade, a lighter shade, going into a dark. I mean, you can look along the line. It's so clear. Dreadful error. Second offside now, cheap offside that they've had, Cardiff. So Sunday kind of first, half an hour up, 37 minutes, yeah.
And we still await for the first goal, but if it stays like this, Huddersfield will be a point clear of Reading, and they could seal safety with a victory against Sheffield United on Thursday before they meet Reading on the final day. Now a free kick's been given to Cardiff. Marlon Romeo was just bowled over inside their own half. Now Sawyers gesticulating with his arms as he looks to get players closer to him, and it's wide towards the far side, and Simpson slid in towards Rawls, and we've got two teams here both playing risk-free football really. It's a high ball up towards Cabba. He loses out to Hellick in the air, but it drops to Rawls. Rawls now plays it wide to Philogene down the left. He comes in field, slid in towards Cabba. They go for the 1-2. Philogene on the burst, clips it over the goalkeeper, and it's into the side netting. It's the best piece of football we've seen in the first half so far, but the angles were just against Jayden Philogene.
Yeah, he was unlucky. I mean, I don't know what you're saying to the goalkeeper here, but, you know, route one, direct. Cabba wins the flick on, heads it down, they pick up the second balls, and eventually Philogene gets it. Lovely little give and go with Cabba. Really deft touch here. Nice little 1-2, takes a touch, maybe could have hit it early, instead tried to do a little dink over the goalkeeper, got it horribly wrong, to be honest. Doesn't even hit the target, left hand side of the 6-yard box, and then I think he's tried a little dive as if I've missed, but I'm trying to claim that there's a little bit of contact from the goalkeeper after the ball is gone. Well, I don't think so. And yeah, really poor finish again. Haven't worked the goalkeeper enough here.
Now Koroma for Huddersfield, wide on the right-hand side, breaking into the penalty area, fires it in low, and it's turned away by Anik. And Huddersfield go close once again, but now Cardiff on the break with Ojo. And Huddersfield have had the better chances so far. But Cardiff looking to catch them on the break here, but a solid challenge from Lees on Ojo, and they will build once again.
Well, I tell you what, Koroma, as I said a few minutes ago, you know, he's their best player. You know, get him the ball. He's looked really, really bright. Good strike. To be honest, the angle was against him. It looks like there's a player down with a Cardiff injury, but the angle was against Koroma. Right-hand side, he's almost past the 6-yard box, but probably to the side a little bit. Acute angle, right-footed, low. You'd expect your keeper to save it, to be honest, but, you know, he has been bright. Josh Koroma has been really, really bright for Huddersfield Town.
4.5 minutes to play. We will have plenty of added time here on Talksport 2 due to the number of stoppages we have had. Huddersfield with all of the shots on target so far in the game so far. And the number of Cardiff fans around us are heading towards the concourses for half-time refreshment. Decent crowd inside this stadium here today. I'm sure a number of fans bought tickets believing this could be a real relegation 6-pointer, but in the event, it's the final home game of what's been a disappointing season for Cardiff, but they have survived, which I suppose is the big picture for them at the moment. Cedric Kipra is the player who is down, and he did seem to go down with nobody near him. And once again, Cardiff are warming up potential replacements. And they have a group of their players discussing what things are happening or not happening in the middle of the pitch at the moment. Neil Warnock did pull in 1 or 2 players. He's also having a conversation with Tim Robinson, the 4th official at the moment.
We'll just get a chance to have another look at this strike from Koroma. You know, you think it's a cross-come shot, isn't it? Very hard angle to go and score from, but, you know, he has been bright, and they have got in behind Cardiff quite a few times, and I think, you know, Neil Warnock will be pretty pleased, to be honest, with how they've done. When they've had the ball, they've looked certainly more threatening, and you can see their game plan, sitting off, you know, hard to beat, you know, play for territory, play the corners from goal kicks. We're not playing out, we're playing in Cardiff's half, we'll win the flick-ons, and we'll go and play from there. And, you know, the likes of Koroma and Headley as well, Danny Ward, they'll be so important, that front three.
Cedric Kipra is coming off towards this near side. This could be the final time that the Cardiff fans get to see him. He's on loan from West Bromwich Albion. And, of course, he's played his part, scored in both of those wins at Watford and Rotherham. And having hobbled across to this near side, he's now coming back on. And we'll see if we'll see him again in the second half. Half-time coming up in a couple of minutes, plus added time here on Talksport 2. We'll be looking ahead to the day's Premier League action during half-time here, live from the Cardiff City Stadium. EFL Championship Live, as we matters at the bottom of the table, and it's Huddersfield Town who are in the spotlight here today. It'll be Rotherham tomorrow at home to Middlesbrough. A win for them and they will be safe as well. Now Romeo back towards Sawyers. And the back pass from McGuinness could interest Danny Ward here, and in the end Anik had to slide in and hook the ball away to safety.
Dreadful back pass from McGuinness. When Ward was nearly onto it, he was a little bit quicker, might have got there. Nonetheless, it was a scramble for the keeper.
Now Diarra looking to break into the penalty area, but he turns into trouble. But Pearson has it back now for Huddersfield. Crossing from the right straight into the arms of Jack Anik.
You just wonder whether he's trying to play for a corner there. Didn't make the most of that. You know, when they get into those areas deep and wide, you know, you can tell they're either trying to play for corners or get a cross on.
Well, there have been one or two attempts here at Cardiff over the last few years to maybe try and move on from Neil Warnock's style of play, which of course was successful when they got promotion, but coaches like Steve Morrison and maybe Mark Hudson were given the brief of trying to make the team more expansive. But under Sabri Lamucci they've gone back to basics. Of course his brief was survival. They've survived, but they have gone back to the way that Neil Warnock used to play.
Well, you know, there's nothing, you know, nothing wrong with that. Luton are pretty direct, you know, success they've had.
But you've got to have good players to make that work though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now Kipra plays it short towards Philogene, but it's cut out by Hagen now. Diarra can break for Huddersfield. He's got Karoma in support on the edge of the penalty area though, but a good challenge coming in from Simpson, and it will spin back towards Anik.
Yeah, I think he just wanted the ball in front of him. The pass was just slightly to his feet, when instead he wanted it ahead of him to run onto. He had Danny Ward to his left hand side, he might have used as well. Wasn't the best pass though. He's, as I say, slightly behind him, wanted it ahead of him to run onto. In the end he was crowded out because they know he's their main man. In the end it took 3 Cardiff players there to stop Karoma.
A minimum of 2 more minutes at the end of what's been a pretty dreadful first half in terms of football quality, but at this stage of the season it's all about the result, certainly for Huddersfield. And while it's 0-0, they will have the edge over Reading. And once again, points deductions are having a real impact at the bottom of the Championship. Derby going down last season, and Wigan of course down now, but with a 3-point deduction. If they were on 44 points they would still be in the mix heading into the final game of the season. And Reading with their 6-point deduction, you add those on and it's a very different scramble for survival at the moment.
Well, you just see Neil Warnock is told a couple of subs to go and get warmed up because, you know, it's getting close to half time. He's probably going to make a few changes because he knows, you know, he needs a result here. Stays like this, it's not ideal.
Headley wins it back for Huddersfield, but only briefly. And here is Cabba, now Sawyers. A goal for Cardiff, and Huddersfield will drop back into the relegation zone. Simpson wide towards the far side, and Philogene once again. He comes in field from the left, has support from Ojo. The half-time whistle goes, and you can almost hear the groans around the Cardiff City Stadium because it's been pretty poor fare from both sides so far. Well, Huddersfield have made a change at half-time, and it's Joe Hungbo, the youngster on loan from Watford, who has come on. And we're just looking through the team to see who has gone off here, but Hungbo was not one of the players who was deep in conversation with Neil Warnock before half-time, but he is the player who has come on wearing number 16 for the start of the second half here. As Cardiff look to break, wearing all blue, attacking the goal away to our left, the Canton stand. And the rain continues to drift down here at the Cardiff City Stadium. And it's the sort of bank holiday weather we usually anticipate at this time of year. But Huddersfield Town really have an opportunity here to get 3 points, because they're playing a Cardiff team which have offered very little so far in the game. And if they get 3 points here today, then the pressure really is off, considering they play Reading on the final day of the season.
Yeah, it looks like Diarra to me. It's the one that's made weight.
As Cardiff try and build now with Philogene on the halfway line. 0-0 at the start of the second half here on Talksport 2. Yeah, Brahima Diarra is the player who has gone off, so Hungbo will come on and play as the number 10 behind Danny Ward, supported by Headley and Koroma, with Hogg and Radoni behind them. Azanik, wearing all green, clears downfield for Cardiff, just in front of us, and now Philogene driving forward, plays it wide into the space for Romeo, who slides in, tries to deliver across into the penalty area, but the challenge comes in at the far post from Headley, and it will be Cardiff City's first corner of the day.
I tell you what, he done really well here, Headley, because he had to match the run of Romeo. Terrific little turn from Philogene to spin away from trouble, and picked out Romeo on the far side in an awful lot of space, but terrific block in the end from Headley.
And Joe Rawls, who gets warm applause from the Cardiff City locals, of course over a decade at this club now, his 350th league appearance today. He will take the corner kick on the far side, high in towards the near post, looking for Cabot, who rises. It would have been a free header, but he makes no contact, and it spins away on this near side for a throw-in.
Yeah, he has his hands on his head. I mean, he feels that he should have made a bit more of that. Good ball in. There's a posse of about 4 players there. The mill break off different directions, but he completely misses his header, Cabot.
Huddersfield, of course, a team who got all the way to the playoff final last season, finished third in the Championship, lost out to an own goal to Nottingham Forest at Wembley. But that season under Carlos Corberán, a real outlier. They were 18th and 20th in the 2 previous seasons after relegation from the Premier League, and they will finish in a similar position this season. Now Romeo hooks it down the line for Cardiff on the far side, headed away though by Radoni, but it's gathered by Sawyers again. Now Wintle back towards McGuinness, and Cardiff try and break and try and offer something here, but they do seem to be playing with a team with the boots off and the flip-flops on. Now Simpson coming forward on this near side, has Rawls in support, infield again towards Philogene. Wintle plays it square towards McGuinness, and McGuinness has got support wide on the far side from Romeo, and then McGuinness, the central defender, becomes the right winger, looks to deliver a cross, takes on Ruffles, and eventually the cross is deflected behind off Ruffles for a corner.
Yeah, not bad. The best he could hope for, right in the corner, just to play it off his man and win a set piece. And the last one, they're a bit of a threat from. They're a big team, aren't they, Cardiff? A couple of, certainly the likes of Simpson and Kipper is big. Always a sort of posse of 4 that get together and then break off.
Yeah, Kipper and McGuinness joining Simpson and Cabot on the edge of the penalty area to make those late runs in. Rawls will take this corner kick again, and it's high towards Cabot at the far post, and it's headed over the top by Simpson in the end, inside the 6-yard area. He was tangling with Jaheim Headley, but he got above him, got the header in, but couldn't keep it down. Yeah,
disappointing again, just not to work the goal. I mean, look, not the best ball, really high, lofted delivery towards the back post. You've got to generate all the power yourself, and he was just maybe put off there a little bit, Simpson.
5 minutes into the second half here on Talksport 2, Game Day Live from the EFL Championship. The Sunday session is underway. over on Talksport, live from Old Trafford with Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray ahead of Aston Villa travelling to Manchester United. Busy day in the Premier League, and of course Celtic against Rangers in the Scottish Cup semi-final, Inverness waiting in the final, and Manchester City against Reading in the Women's Super League. Reading now bottom of the table after Leicester's win against Liverpool yesterday. Now Ojo neatly evades the challenge of Rodoni in the midfield area for Cardiff. Wide to this near side, and Rawls on again towards Ojo. And now Simpson takes over for Cardiff, but once again there's not a huge amount of movement ahead of him. It's back towards Sawyers, and here is Philogene in towards Atete, to Cabba rather. Atete going off early on, and the challenge comes in from Hellick, and an opportunity now for Hungbo to bring it forward for Huddersfield Town on the far side, and he'll take on McGuinness, but McGuinness matches him stride for stride and knocks it out of play, and it will be a throw into Huddersfield. And you can hear their fans find their voices behind that goal away to our right hand side. Yeah, they are kicking into them, so let's see if they can raise the game a little bit. The away team didn't have much in this second half. Hogg a couple of times of his passes, just his range is off today. He tried one just a moment ago, a little dink ball over the top, and it was, under hit, and certainly the passing, there's another one there from the back, not been the best. Now Ojo over the halfway line for Cardiff. Good sliding challenge coming in though from Lees. Won the ball cleanly. Hogg with the ball over the top, headed away by Kipra. And now Rawls takes over on this near side. Simpson will go all the way back towards Anik, who clears long downfield again. And the rain continuing to come down here at the Cardiff City Stadium. A milder afternoon than it has been of late, but still cool and damp. May tomorrow. Now Sawyers coming forward for Cardiff on this near side, in towards Cabba, and Rawls again, back towards Sawyers, and Rawls scoops the ball across the penalty area to find Ojo. Low in towards Sawyers again, left for Ojo, and Cabba made the run into the area, but it was well seen by Pearson, but Cardiff win it back. Here is Ojo again, finding Cabba, stab back towards Sawyers on the edge of the penalty area. Now Rawls takes over again. The cross in is met on the stretch by Lees, only as far as Ojo. Ojo was waiting for an option though, and in the end Hogg picked his pocket, and it's cleared away by Pearson on this near side. Yeah, it just took too long. He's got to have a little bit of urgency, and there's another player down injured now for Cardiff. You can hear the crowd just urging Ojo just to make a decision quickly, be decisive. They haven't been in and around the box today, Cardiff. 53 minutes played on Talksport 2. Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0. It is Joe Rawls who is off or down on this near side. And there's just a lack of decision making for Cardiff City around the penalty area. And of course, they've got the job done in many ways. They got 7 points from 9 when it seemed they were in severe danger. But they reverted to type here today, but they are about to make more changes. And Isaac Davis, the Welsh under-21 international, will be coming on to replace Joe Rawls. And Rawls applauds the crowd, always a firm favourite here. Made his debut in October of 2011. And he applauds all four sides of the Cardiff City Stadium. When that happens, you tend to think that a player may be on his way, but Rawls still has a deal to run here. And it's Isaac Davis who will come on, 21 years of age. Not too many youngsters have come through the Cardiff City system in recent years. When there's a high turnover of managers, it never really helps young players to get time in the first team due to the short-term concerns. But Davis has come on now to take Rawls' place in midfield, so Ojo may switch to the left. Here is Philogene, also in that position now. heading towards the corner flag, down the right-hand side. 55 minutes played. 0-0 here on Talksport 2. Philigine's cross is blocked. Back towards Philogene again. A deeper ball in. It's Davies who brings the ball under control. Back towards Ojo. Shifts it onto his left foot. Had the opportunity to go wide to the far side. And eventually Sawyer's finding Philogene once again. A high ball lofted in. Cabba, though, had no chance to win that with two defenders around him, and Huddersfield will hammer the ball long downfield.
Yeah, as you say, nice for the youngster to come on. And he's looked sharp so far. You know, he's a forward, so he'll be playing off the front. In and around Cabba, and he signed a new deal. Well, imagine his age. He's on his way this season as a young pro, you know, just getting into the game.
Well, Ruben Colwill is also back on the bench here today. A player who's had an injury-hit season. And many Cardiff fans believe they need to try and build the team around him. He's a talented young player. He's got the physical attributes, but also two very good feet as well. But he's not necessarily had the trust of all the managers that have gone through Cardiff City in recent years. But he's on the bench, and another young player, Mark Harris, Welsh international, who's a striker who basically doesn't score enough goals, but does have certain qualities. He's not involved today. But if you are a young player, you often need someone to see you in the long term and believe you can do a job. But if managers are coming in and out every few months, you never get that.
No, that's right. And often I think the academy manager is so important. Young players, you know, young pros coming through. You never know, one manager might not fancy you, doesn't want to give you a contract, the next does. So really, often you need someone to take it out of their hands and go, no, academy manager, let's give him another year, 2-year deal, and we'll be a young pro, it doesn't matter who's in charge, you know, and we'll make something of him.
57 minutes played. You're listening to Cardiff against Huddersfield in the EFL, live on Talksport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And it's a good point about academy managers maybe deciding on young players, because Sabri Lamouchi has seen no one here. Just taking Cardiff as an example, he arrived in February and his sole focus has been keeping the first team in the Championship, and if he hadn't done that, then the chances are he would have been on his way. So the longer term,
there is no the longer term is 6 games, isn't it, these days?
Yeah.
What's your short term?
At a club like Cardiff it is.
Yeah, exactly. And it used to be a bit of a joke, but you know, that first 100 days. I mean, a lot of managers don't last 100 days, so you know, a lot of principles in management just don't apply. Certainly not to football management.
Well, 2 managers have lasted 100 games for Cardiff in the last decade, and one of those is the Huddersfield Town manager here today, and he's 72. Huddersfield coming forward now on the far side. An opportunity for Hungbo to cross, and he does cross high to the far post. Simpson, though, with a good defensive header to rise above Karoma to clear. And Ojo by the corner flag, just in front of us, will gather. And Cardiff will try and break now with Sawyers, who, without doubt, is a quality player, but he needs the players around him to allow him to unlock that creativity.
Yeah, he does, but what I would say is that he got past the ball from Ojo, and then he's 1v1 Sawyers, but he just releases the ball too early to Ojo, to his right-hand side, which means the guy that was marking Sawyers can get across and then close Ojo down. So Ojo has to give it back to him. It's a ball pass, they lose possession. But Sawyers, you know, his game, you saw my Brentford, I mean, he was brilliant, and you know, he just looked really off the pace here. I mean, previously he'd be driving with that ball, taking his man and really committing it, taking him out of the game and then releasing. Just released the pass far too early.
Now Cardiff have given the ball away, and here is Hungbo attacking the penalty area for Huddersfield, but Kipper stood firm, makes the challenge and concedes the corner. But Huddersfield Town now with a set piece to maybe try and apply some pressure.
Well, they were pretty dangerous at these in the first 45. You know, look at Hellick and the like, you know, big players, physical threat.
It'll be taken by Jack Rodoni on this near side, with an hour played here at the Cardiff City Stadium, where it is still Cardiff City 0, Huddersfield Town 0 on Talksport 2. But will a set piece unlock safety here for Huddersfield? Rodoni's delivery, and it's headed away by Kipra. Good defensive header as well, and he's been a very good signing for Cardiff this season.
I tell you what, yeah, that was a great header. headed it away. What he did really well, he was almost facing his own goal, managed to angle the header to the opposite side to where the ball came in, completely clearing the danger. Fantastic, great defending.
But Huddersfield looking to attack again now. On the far side with Headley. And Lees going all the way back towards Pearson, who in turn goes all the way back towards Nichols, his goalkeeper. But a point for Huddersfield, and they would be a point clear of Reading with a better goal difference. And they have games to come at home to Sheffield United on Thursday and at home to Reading on the final day next Monday.
Not enough, that is. You know, just looking at Lee Nichols, touched on him in the first 45, he's kicking.
Oh, now it's been given away by Cardiff. Here is Hungbo with the shot, and Joe Hungbo has scored the goal for Huddersfield. And that could be the goal which sends them a long way towards safety in the Championship. A dreadful, dreadful error at the heart of the Cardiff defence. Hungbo was there to fasten onto it, hammer the ball high beyond Anik. The Huddersfield fans are jubilant, and after such a grim season, they can suddenly see safety on the horizon. It's grim news for Reading, but it's Cardiff City 0, Huddersfield Town 1.
Well, and Hungbo hammered this into the back of the net, but I mean, Cardiff, it's all their fault, playing out. They're so lax in possession. Simpson into Sawyers, too loose, really dreadful pass back to Kipre, leaves it short. Hungbo's onto it, cuts inside onto his left leg and then blasts it into the top corner. But you know, I touched on Sawyers earlier. You know, in his day, you know, when he was at Brentford, he was absolutely brilliant. Here he's just so casual, loses the ball about 10 yards outside his box. I mean, he's moaning at his teammate that he gave him a bad ball, but to be honest, straight pass into him, just inviting Radoni.
He off, didn't he?
Well, he just invited Radoni to go and press him, and then in the end, you know, it's just a dreadful pass back to his teammate from Sawyers. Leaves Kipre short, and then Hungbo just invited, cuts in, bends it beautifully into the top corner.
Only Joe Hungbo's second goal for Huddersfield, but they lead here, and that would take them 3 points clear of Reading with a better goal difference, with 2 games still to play, including Reading on the final day. And if it stays like this, a point against Sheffield United on Thursday, and they would be safe and Reading would be down. Now Kipre under pressure again from Ward. And it's no surprise really, David Connolly, that it's taken a terrible error to provide the first goal in this game.
Absolutely. Now they've got the bit between the teeth. Huddersfield, and tackles are flying in.
Now Cabba with a ball forward again for Cardiff, but it's quickly cut out. Cardiff have lost 1-0 8 times this season, and they trail again here at the Cardiff City Stadium. If they lose this game, it would be 10 home defeats. And you can hear the Huddersfield supporters away to our right-hand side. They can see a route to safety. Danny Ward is down again just in front of us here. And Michael Soulsby, the referee, waves on the medical team, but Cedric Kipre is on his haunches, away from the action, maybe just thinking about that goal, because it was a terrible ball back to him from Sawyers, but he just seemed to have that moment's hesitation to give Hungbo the opportunity to move in field.
Well, yeah, but I just think he couldn't get there. He just couldn't get there, so he's left in the lurch. The only thing I'd say is, well, can you try and force him onto his right? You know, and he didn't. He was a bit flat and square, and it just meant Hungbo could just cut inside. But to be honest, I don't think there was much. It's just teammate. His teammate killed him there.
Danny Ward is hobbling off, and Jordan Rhodes will come on here for Huddersfield Town, who lead by a goal to 0 with 64 minutes played. Neil Warnock's record since taking over: 4 wins, 4 draws and 5 defeats. They beat Millwall, Middlesbrough and Watford, which looked like a horrible run for them, but they got 9 points out of 9. They were 2 goals up against Blackburn before drawing 2-2, lost at Swansea, drew at Sunderland 12 days ago before this game. And they are getting the results at the right time of the season. Neil Warnock is doing what he has to do.
Well, if we come back to the start of this game, right, even the warm-up, you know, a little look at it, barely did a possession-based warm-up like nearly every other team, saving their legs. You start the game, what did I call it? Risk-free football, playing the opposition half. How does a goal come about? Cardiff goalkeeper bowling the ball out of centre half, short, straight pass into midfield, inviting the press, lose the ball 10 yards from their box, and it's a goal. So, you know, there's, I guess, different ways to go about, you know, trying to win a game of football, but Huddersfield has certainly worked here just by playing percentages.
Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 1 on Talksport 2. Huddersfield are within a point of safety as it stands, and they can take out the drama and the trauma of a home game on the final day if they win this game and draw against Sheffield United on Thursday at home. Coroma, if they need a point, you can imagine there'll be a good deal of risk-free football coming up on Thursday night. But it's all about the results if you're in the situation Huddersfield Town have found themselves in.
Well, look, now they don't want to play out Cardiff. You know, conceded, goalkeeper's got the ball, everyone squeezes out the pitch. They're playing a la Huddersfield, but a little bit too late.
And we always talk about poor management off the field, costing teams in the end in unforgiving leagues like the Championship. And Reading's 6-point deduction now comes firmly into focus. They've won 50 points on the field of play this season. If they had 50 points, they would be safe. As it is, they are very much on the brink. And now it's given away again by Ojo, and it's Hungbo again, bursting towards the edge of the penalty area. Huddersfield have got players forward here, but the shot is blazed over by Headley in the end. And Cardiff City here are just giving it away.
Well, they are, and then now, you know, Romain Sawyers is giving a signal, you know, let's just play long, you know, let's just play in the other half, because a dreadful pass back again to Kipro. What you would say, Kipro, okay, might be a little bit deep, but I think that's at times because he doesn't know whether they're, you know, playing out or not, and they're just caught in between two stools here, Cardiff. But they look like a side that's seems over, they're safe, and there's not a lot on, you know, on this game. That's how they're playing, very lax in possession and loose.
Now rules for Cardiff on the far side. 67 minutes played here. Huddersfield leading by a goal to nil. And it's Headley again showing his pace, and he's been caught by McGuinness on the far side. McGuinness will receive a yellow card, and it's a free kick to Huddersfield. And Cardiff here are unravelling at a rapid rate.
Well, he done brilliantly here, Headley. Great run. I mean, it's certain yellow. He has found his cards. I thought he left them at home, but terrific run from the Huddersfield wide man. Again though, where does it come from? You know, Cardiff conspire to just lose the ball again, just a really loose pass.
Another goal here for Huddersfield, and that's surely all over. At the moment they are 3 points clear of Reading, and their goal difference is 2 goals better. Free kick which Rodoni will take, wide on the far side, the left. High towards the penalty. Oh, it's flicked on! It's a second goal from Pearson! And Huddersfield Town have surely won this game now. No celebration from Neil Warnock, but everybody else of a Huddersfield Town persuasion is absolutely jubilant. Dreadful defence. Cardiff once again. It was a Cardiff head which flicked the free kick on, and it was Matty Pearson who got the final touch at the far post. It is Cardiff City 0, Huddersfield Town 2. The Terriers are heading towards safety, but for Reading now, League One is looming.
Well, to be honest, he didn't know too much about it. Brilliant ball in. I think in the end it is an own goal. I think he headed it down, Pearson, into Simpson's knee, and then that was the final touch that carried it past the goalkeeper. But nonetheless, brilliant ball in, headed down, rise off Simpson's foot, and it'll probably go down as an own goal. Then that all came about from Cardiff losing possession, Huddersfield breaking, winning a free kick, brilliant ball in, but again, it's just come from Cardiff being just really, really poor in possession. But that second goal is huge for Huddersfield.
Well, Neil Warnock was fairly emotionless, outwardly at least, maybe showing respect to his former club here, but they have taken a grip on this game. 2 goals in quick succession. The defending from Cardiff has been shocking. They've not just been on the beach, they've been on the beach in flip-flops and Hawaiian shirts here in the second half, despite the weather. Now Sawyers, wide to the far side. Gathered by McGuinness, 2 goals in 8 minutes for Huddersfield. They're heading towards another away victory. A number of Huddersfield Town fans have got Neil Warnock face masks on. You almost need danger money to wear those these days, but what a job he has done. At the age of 72, he inherited a team which looked doomed, and now surely they are staying up. Philogene on the edge of the penalty area for Cardiff. 19 minutes to play, 2 goals down, heading for their 10th away defeat. Ojo with the cross into the penalty area, and it's hammered away. And now Simpson's header forward is over the head of Sawyers, and it's clipped down the line by Karoma. The final touch was off Sawyers. There will be a throw-in, and there'll be a double change very soon for Cardiff City. Ruben Colwill is one of the players who was coming on, and Connor Wickham will be the other one. And all the noise is Huddersfield noise inside the Cardiff City Stadium at the moment, and they're coming forward again here with Karoma down the right. Hungbo makes the run into the penalty area, but it's cut back short. Cleared away by Sawyers, but one back and then fired towards goal by Rodoni off the outside of the left boot and well wide.
Yeah, he was unlucky though. I mean, Karoma, I think the best player on the pitch, certainly for Huddersfield, down this right-hand side. He was excellent first 45 whenever he got it. He's been a threat in the second. Good run into the box. Eventually he picks out Rodoni. Probably a difficult shot. Ball coming across your body, right-hand side of the area. Difficult one, you know, because he can just slice it like he did there, Rodoni. And probably his finishing today hasn't quite been the best. But good news for him, he's been amongst the goals of late, although maybe not today.
Has gone down as a own goal, that second one. Matty Pearson was the player who celebrated. Romain Sawyers is now coming off, and it will be a triple change. Connor Wickham is the first player to come on. Cedric Kipra is the second player withdrawn. Ruben Colwill will come on for him. And it's a former Reading player, Andy Rinomota, who will also come on. And it's Marlon Romeo who makes way for him. And Kipra gets applause from the Cardiff City supporters because they recognise those goals against Watford and Rotherham, which were so important for them. Of course, he's on loan from West Bromwich Albion, so this could be his final appearance at the Cardiff City Stadium. Romeo also makes way, so Cardiff here with a change of shape. Colwill will go up front along with Wickham. Rinomota will be alongside Wintle in midfield, with Ojo filling in now as a left back. 17 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 2. Huddersfield moving 3 points clear of Reading, who are in the final relegation place, and their goal difference now is 3 goals better. So realistically, Reading would need Sheffield United to go to Huddersfield on Thursday, win with a hatful of goals, and then Reading would have to beat Huddersfield on the final day. Can't see it, personally.
No, never can I.
So it really is a sign of the times that 2 of the 3 teams who look as though they'll go down have had points deducted for financial management off the field in the Championship this season. Wigan and Reading. Blackpool, of course, have just not been good enough overall. It's likely they will have the lowest points total in terms of points won actually on the field of play. Here is Rinomota for Cardiff on this near side, challenged by Rodoni, and the final touch was off Rinomota, and it will be a throw-in for Huddersfield. And this would only be Huddersfield's 5th away victory. And they've only scored 21 goals before today. But it's all about what you do at the business end of the season. And if it stays like this, Neil Warnock has won 5 of his 14 games. And that will be enough, winning 19 points Now Hellick, wide towards the far side, and Ruffles. His ball forward is cleared by Ojo, but he's given the ball away, and now Koroma is found by Rodoni into the penalty area. Left foot shot from him off the inside of the post, and then astonishingly Headley puts the rebound against the bar, and then the flag is raised for offside.
Oh, he's so unlucky. Brilliant. I tell you what, the pass from Rodoni is outstanding in behind for Josh Koroma. Cuts in off the right hand side onto his left. Well, probably 90% of the time players here trying to bend it into the far corner. He doesn't, tries to reverse it, maybe give the keeper the eyes at the near, comes off the inside of the post. As you say, the rebound then falls to Headley. He doesn't really expect it, comes back at him really quickly and he pings it straight off the bar. Looks like he was offside though anyway.
But Huddersfield coming forward again now. Rhodes allows the ball to run as he was offside, but Koroma wasn't, and he can now come forward again down the right. Cardiff City are absolutely gone here. 14 minutes to play and Huddersfield can really fill their boots and take the goal difference out of the equation here.
Yeah. And it's just how the cards have fallen for them, really. You know, there's not a lot you can do if you're ready and you're looking at this thinking, well, you know, maybe if they'd have got a victory against Wigan, there would have been more on this game, you know. So, side that really needs to win here in Huddersfield and Cardiff who don't.
Rhodes back towards Pearson from a throw-in, but it's cleared away, but now Pearson wins it back and he heads towards the byline, and Rinomota nips in with a challenge, and it will be a corner kick.
Well, he done as much as he could do there, Pearson. He's been brilliant, isn't he? You know, I touched him in the first half about how he was following players in and tracking them man to man across the pitch wherever Ojo went, he went to. But he's raided down the right hand side when he's had to, popped up with a involvement in a goal as well. He's had a good game.
Corner kick for Huddersfield as they look to make this victory emphatic here. Rodoni will take it. And Rodoni's delivery in towards the near post, flicked on by Rhodes, it's not being cleared, fired towards goal, blocked by McGuinness, it's still loose. Rhodes with another shot, Rinomota was in the way this time. Now Koroma with a left-footed shot, and going to ground to make the challenge was McGuinness again, but Huddersfield still have it with Hogg on the edge of the penalty area. Rhodes lays it back to Pearson, square to Koroma, he curls it, again it's deflected, appeals for handball, it loops into the air, Rhodes with a far post header, and it's cleared off the line by McGuinness. Chaos inside the penalty area, and it's a corner kick in the end, and Huddersfield could have scored there on 5 separate occasions.
You can hear what the crowd feel. You know, boos ringing out because they're
going home, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're falling apart here. I mean, pinball in the box there. Couple of goal line clearances and blocks.
If there's a lap of appreciation here from the Cardiff City fans, they'll be doing it to an empty stadium.
Well, it feels like it's a chance here to fill your boots, doesn't it? You know, really improve your goal difference if they can. Get another one.
Rodoni will take the corner kick on the far side. Cardiff City have been a shambles in the second half. 12 minutes to play, Huddersfield leading by 2-0. Rodoni with the delivery, deep towards Lees, who nods it down. It's scrambled clear by Simpson. And now Hogg will allow the ball to drift out of play and then just hoops the ball into the crowd. That's the Warnock way, and it will be a throw-in for... Neil Warnock winning only his 3rd game in 16 at the Cardiff City Stadium, and Ninian Park going further back, but he did win in his previous trip in October of 2021 when he was with Middlesbrough, when Mick McCarthy was sacked as the Cardiff manager following that game.
Well, nonetheless, I don't think I'll be seeing him in my local chippy in Lycra anytime soon. I think he's going to stay in the management game for a little while longer.
Well, Huddersfield have got new owners coming in, and Gerhard Struber, the former Barnsley coach, has been linked with them. Koroma coming forward again with a break into the penalty area. The cross though is deflected behind by Ojo. It will be another corner, and Huddersfield Town here are absolutely dominant.
Well, look, if this is a job interview, he couldn't do any worse, could he, for the Cardiff job, that's for sure. That's why he's probably been a bit respectful there with the celebration, or non-celebration, when Huddersfield scored their second. You never know, do you? You never know.
Well, I would think that if any team in the Championship was in trouble next February, the bat phone will be flashing in Neil Warnock's office.
Well, we'll touch on that in a minute. Let's just see this corner through.
Rodoni with the corner into the penalty area. Rhodes controls at the near post. He'll have the opportunity to deliver a cross high to the far post, and in the end, a stretching Amick has to pull the ball behind for a corner.
I tell you, he's done really well, Rhodes, since he's come on. He's been very, very sharp. I mean, the corner is under hit towards the near, but it's a good first touch from Rhodes. He's got a man behind him, but he takes it almost to the ball line, dinks it towards the back post. Really good ball. As you say, he had to be palmed over the bar. That was unlucky.
Huddersfield could have had 4 or 5 in the second half here. They really could. Corner kick, which Karoma will take once again. A player who was on loan at Portsmouth until January, but he scored the equaliser against Sunderland in the previous game, and he's had a key role here today. Karoma with the delivery, an in-swinger towards Leeds, who glances just wide, and again Cardiff City were nowhere.
Well, just coming back to this situation about how it might be needed, there's a goal kick and there might be a sub, but the sort of landscape's changing for managers, right? And if this is going to be the case, it's going to be a common occurrence. For example, you're going to be drafted in for 2-3 months. You know, the managers will get wise to this and smart to this. They'll go, I'll tell you what, I'll do that for 2-3 months. I want the 12-month money in that 2-3 month period and a big bonus at the end of it. And you know what? I think they'll be entitled to that if they're going to, you know, not be, for example, given a 12-month deal at the start. You mentioned he might not get a job at the start of the season, might be firefighted, it'll be one of those. But if he is, let's make sure that these managers get the deal structured right so they get properly well paid for keeping these teams up.
David Kasumu has come on for Huddersfield. Josh Karoma has gone off. Kasumu signed from MK Dons. Well, I'm sure he will get bonus.
Yeah. You know what I mean, but
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think that so often we see managers come in this sort of situation. They keep them up, they stay for the following season, and then it's a poor start. Yeah, the situation around the club doesn't really change, and they're gone by October. And then it's rinse and repeat. Here was an opportunity now for Cardiff inside the penalty area. The low cross in from Isaac Davis is put behind by Leeds, and Cardiff have a corner, and we have 7.5 minutes to play here. Ryan Wintle will take the corner kick for Cardiff, and the goal now would give us an interesting finish. It's played short to Philogene. Nobody really reacts. Philogene with a low ball in. It's flicked on and it's flicked in. And Cardiff City do have a goal back. It looks like Isaac Davis got the final touch. And Huddersfield Town was sleeping there at the set piece. And Cardiff City make them pay. And it's 2-1 with 7 minutes to play.
Well, on a miserable day, miserable afternoon, that is one bright spot. The youngster coming up with a fantastic flick. This is, I mean, they take the corner short. They blast it across the box, and Davies with a little Zola-esque little back flick. He knows exactly what he's doing here, the youngster. Terrific. Goalkeeper gets a hand to it, can't keep it out.
First goal for 13 months for Isaac Davis, and it's Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2. Huddersfield looking to respond straight away. Kasumu with a powerful run into the penalty area, and the cross is blocked at the near post, and it will be a corner kick once again. And Neil Warnock will be fuming there because the corner was played short and nobody reacted at all.
Yeah, everyone was just expecting that delivery first time into the box. It's one of the only times really Cardiff have been cute in the game and done something a little bit different.
Only Cardiff's 20th goal here at home this season. Huddersfield will take the corner kick. They could have been out of sight. Now, with 6 minutes to play, it is only 2-1. The corner, high towards Leeds, who leaps with Wickham, but it's cleared away. And Kasumu tries to keep the ball in play, goes down as if he's been fouled. No free kick has been given, and it's a throw-in for Cardiff City, and they need to get the ball forward here quickly. And those fans who were suddenly drifting away have now come back in, and the Huddersfield Town fans who were celebrating a great away day suddenly look nervous here. Camber retrieving the ball from the Huddersfield technical area, almost collides with Neil Warnock, who remains unmoved, and Cardiff will try and build now with 5 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2. Rotherham against Middlesbrough coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Rotherham playing for survival in that game. Arsenal against Wolfsburg, the Women's Champions League semi-final second leg, level at 2-2. Will be on Talksport 2 at 5 at a sellout Emirates Stadium with Leicester against Everton from the Premier League. Big game at the bottom, live on Talksport at 8 o'clock. Pearson now taking his time with a throw-in for Huddersfield. And they'd just taken off Karoma before that goal, and so they've lost a player who can maybe use the ball in the attacking third. But here is Radoni, and he clips it wide towards Kasumu. Down the Huddersfield right. Philogina's gone with him. Kasumu with the ball into the near post. It's sliced away by Simpson. And the final touch was off Kasumu, and Cardiff have a throw-in. Ojo will take it. And belatedly in the second half, the Cardiff fans have found their voices. Colwell gets it from Ojo. He's got Rinomota square of him. Philogene is away down the right-hand side. And he now receives the ball. Headley has gone back to try and deal with him. Davis is waiting in the centre. Colwell makes the run on the outside, but Philogene comes in field. Left-footed shot from him was dragged and wide.
It's a waste. It's a waste for me. He had the overlapping run as well he should have used. And if not, then he's got a front two to go and play off. You know, go and link. Get it into two goal scorers, you know, that was a real waste.
Goal kick, which Lee Nichols is lingering over here. Unsurprisingly, 26,804 the crowd here today. Well, they may have sold 26,000 tickets, but there didn't appear to be 26,000 inside the stadium, to be honest. But the top tier of the stand on the far side is closed, and there's certainly not 26,000 inside the stadium now, as Hungbo comes forward for Huddersfield, but he's given the ball away. Davis with his back to goal for Cardiff on the halfway line, back towards Wintle. And now Cardiff in search of the equalising goal in a second half where they've been swept away. Just over 2 minutes of normal time to play. Colwell down this near side, the left, flicks the ball in field, but to no one in particular. It's regathered by Rhodes. It's quickly forward for Huddersfield now, but Hungbo just allows the ball to rear up, and McGuinness guides it back towards Anik, who clears long downfield again. Wickham will challenge on this near side with Pearson. The ball seemed to roll down Pearson's arm, but it would have been a very harsh handball, and a throw-in has been given to Cardiff. But it was one of those situations where neither the assistant or the referee had a clue where the ball had come off last. 90 seconds of normal time to play here. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2. Colwell for Cardiff. Plays the ball in field towards McGuinness, who can bring it forward now. Philogene in space again down the right. Has support from Davis, but Hungbo was in the way, and Cardiff have a throw-in as the rain comes down again here. And there is tension among the Huddersfield Town supporters as Davis plays it forward again on the far side, but it's cleared away by Radoni. McGuinness allows the ball to skip off Hungbo, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff, and we're into the 90th minute.
Well, they need to get it up to Wickham, see if he can win something in the air.
Long for Vanek. Reading will be willing a Cardiff equaliser here. Now Colwell on the edge of the penalty, right foot corner, brilliant save! What a save from Nichols there! Colwell seems certain to have scored the equaliser, but Nichols, arching his back to plunge away to his left, made an outstanding stop.
I tell you what, it's a great strike at goal, curling towards that far corner, and he hasn't had a lot to do, has he, this second half, Nichols, but he's alert, he's alive, brings the flight of the ball and just palms it past the post. Good save, really good save.
Wintle over the corner kick on the far side, high towards the far post. Simpson rising, wins the header, but it's hammered away. and then the ball actually had gone out from the corner kick before it arrived inside the area, and it will be a goal kick, and we're into a minimum of 5 added minutes here.
Well, when you need your keeper to make a save, and they do, it's really pleasing, because he hasn't had a lot to do in this second half, but he's been sharp, alive, good footwork to get across his line. You'd expect him, to get close to that, because it is a good 25 yards out, but nonetheless, it's a good save.
Goal kick now, which again Nichols is lingering over, but there's still plenty of time here for Cardiff to snatch an equaliser and deny Huddersfield the victory. Colwill on this near side looking to take on Pearson. He's gone beyond him initially, then Kasumu comes in with a challenge, but Colwill is away from him again, clipped forward towards the edge of the penalty area, almost breaks for Cabba, but Colwill wins it back again. Good ball wide to the far side, and Davis now with a low ball, then it's blocked. It will be a corner kick.
Colwill has done really well. He's been alive, played a ball, followed it, picked up the seconds, played it out wide to Davies. Not the cleanest of strikes, of contacts for the cross, but he's won a corner.
Into the 92nd minute, the corner is deep, and Nichols makes a very good claim. Under pressure, he was fouled as well. There are players and bodies all over the place inside the area. Connor Wickham is down, Jack Radoni is down, and play will be halted.
Maybe a little clash of heads here as the ball's come in, but again, the goalkeeper, when you need him, has come and claimed a difficult corner. Nice safe pair of hands there. No danger of him dropping the ball. But there must have been a little bit of a coming together inside the box. Radoni's up, he's moving, he's alright.
But we still have, I would think, at least 3.5 minutes of playing time to go in this game. There'll be added time at the end of added time for that delay. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2 on Talksport 2. Terrible first half, but it's been a dramatic second half in many ways, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Terrible defending for both of the Huddersfield goals. They could have had more, but Cardiff have pulled themselves together late in the game here. Wickham and Radoni are back on the field of play.
And look at Nichols, he's almost taking the ball right into the corner of the penalty box, so he can just waste valuable seconds.
And he forces Davis to sprint 50 yards to close him down and make him pick the ball up.
Crowd not happy with that.
Well, I'm sure that added time will be applied as a long ball forward from Nichols skips through on the wet playing surface straight out of play, and it will be a throw into Cardiff by the corner flag on this near side. Simpson will take it. Coming up following this game on Talksport 2, an episode of Best 11. Johnny Owen and Mark Webster sitting down with actor and radio presenter Craig Charles. But we still have time to play here as Simpson's ball into the penalty area is deflected off Rhodes into the arms of Anik. He clears long downfield. Cabba rising with Hellick. He wins the header, but it's nodded forward by Wintle again. This time it's Lees to head clear. Ojo nods forward looking for Wickham. Wickham was challenged and fouled on this near side, and it will be a free kick. I think Huddersfield were looking for the decision themselves, and they are furious. Neil Warnock is almost on the pitch there, and he's pulled away by the fourth official. He thought that Pearson was caught by Wickham, but the decision has gone the other way.
Yeah, it has, and actually Matty Pearson didn't make much of a fuss about that. They're taking it quickly though.
Here is Colwill now on the edge of the penalty area, shifting onto that right foot again, fires it low, but it's wide this time. And it will be a goal kick. And we have 55 seconds of the 5 minutes to play, but there will be, I would think, at least another minute on the end of that.
Well, that was bright again, though, from Cardiff. No surprise, that man Colwill comes short, it's cute, gets on the half-turn, faces forward, drives on the inside, just that final connection, just drags a shot wide. They need a good kick here from Nichols, and they have been a bit wayward in the game. Needs to get this really, really deep into the Cardiff half. As deep as he can, the biggest kick, what has he got? Oh, it's a bit straight.
Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2 in the 95th minute here on Talksport 2. Cabba for Cardiff tries to flick the ball on, but it breaks to Philogene, and now Cabba is away down the right. Early cross into the penalty area. It's beyond Davis. Ojo will try and keep the ball in play on this near side, but he can't do so, and Huddersfield Town have a throw-in, and they will linger over that.
Well, this should be avoidable. You know where it comes from? I'm not going to pick on him. It's the goalkeeper, Nichols. I mean, he's made a couple of really good saves, but he's kicking at times. He's got to aim down the right-hand side. Instead, his kick goes to the opposite side. It just allows Cardiff to pick it up, because that's where their height is. Huddersfield have got everyone tall over the other side of the pitch, and a bit of calmness there from Cabba, and they would have had a chance of scoring.
McGuinness goes all the way back towards Anik. He's got to get the ball forward here. 96 minutes on the clock. Wickham again is challenging, but Kasumu heads the ball away. Rinomota flicked on by Colwill, wide to this near side, and Ojo. Huddersfield want the full-time whistle, but now Colwill once again just checking back onto his right foot. Tries to play it wide to the far side, but is lost out. Rhodes heads it forward. McGuinness will go back towards Anik. He's got to get the ball forward quickly here, but it's all over, and Huddersfield Town have won, and they can celebrate a crucial 3 points, which lifts them 3 points clear of Reading in the final relegation place. A point against Sheffield United on Thursday, and they will be safe